and today we're going to talk a little bit about hips. I talk about hips a lot, but not in the traditional hip opening kind of way. So what I want to talk about is two things that I see a lot in my clients, and I find this to be true in my classes as well. And so I'm going to make a huge generalization and say it's a big problem across the population, and that is we lack strength on the back side. So the glutes and the hamstrings are weak, and then we're really tight in the front hip flexors. There are a lot of theories about what causes this and then what that in turn causes. I'm not going there. I'm just going to show you a couple of really easy ways to address both of those issues at the same time. And you can throw this into any yoga sequence that you're either teaching or that you're practicing. It doesn't matter if it's being cued to you, you can add it in really easily. Okay, so it's going to be all about low lunges. I'm going to start in downward facing dog. You'll notice that I have a blanket here, and that's because I'm going to be on my knees, and I'm going to put some pressure on that bottom knee. And so I recommend having something to pad it if you have sensitive knees like I do. Okay, so from downward facing dog, skip this just a little bit. Okay, from down dog, I'm going to step my right foot forward first. So reaching back and then stepping it forward. So this is what I typically see, is you get a nice huge step forward, and when the bottom knee comes down, see this big movement here. See how I'm leaning forward? And then we try to sink down here and we go, oh yeah, I'm stretching that hip flexor now. Okay, that's not what we want. You're gonna get a much more effective stretch if you keep your low lunge a little shorter. So I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna step a little behind here, bring it down, and instead of coming this way, I'm gonna pull it back. And so I'm gonna line up my knee, my hip, and my shoulder. From here, strengthen the core. You think about being neutral through the pelvis and the spine. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're going to engage through the core here so that you're just not slumping either way. Now, we're going to have really active legs. So this right heel is in front. My left knee is on the blanket. I'm going to pull them towards each other. So it's as though I'm trying to slide this right heel back, and I'm trying to push the left knee forward. So nothing really goes anywhere, but I can feel that in the front of my left leg now. And we're getting into that hip flexor, okay? So from here, we're gonna add in the hamstring, strengthening the back ends. We're gonna hit the front and the back at the same time. So this left glute, I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna squeeze that left butt cheek. And then I'm gonna lift my left heel as high as I can, all right? So you've still got this action here, and it's really easy to lose one or the other as you start to shift. And so you just do it as much as you can. Arms can be reaching up as you do this, or they can be down wherever is helpful. This is a lot going on in the lower body. Squeezing the glute, lifting, you should feel this in your hamstring. Okay, so the back of that left thigh. You can hold, you can pulse. You may notice that the back of that hamstring cramps, very common, and it's really not a big deal. Usually that's not indicative of a problem. It just means that you're working that muscle in a way that maybe you haven't before, and it's not really sure what's going on. It's almost like it's overworking and it's panicking, okay? It's kind of a clue when it's in this context, usually, that the muscle is weak. and so it's a signal that it really needs to be strengthened. I'm gonna do this on the other side. So this time I'll lift that left leg, and I'm gonna step a little shorter than normal. Let the right knee come down. So when I come up, right knee, right hip, right shoulder all in line. Left heel, right knee are gonna squeeze towards each other. And then now I'm gonna find that right glute. Turn it on and lift the heel. So if you're in your lunge, like you step forward and you find that you're way out here and you just wanna back it up, it's totally fine for this foot to be way in front of the knee. The only thing that happens there is it's a little harder to balance. All right. And you'll also notice that maybe you lose the glute activation, you lose that drag in the feet, and you just kind of come back whenever you think about it. All right, and get a little hold here. All right. So anytime you're in sun salutations and you go into, like you're asked to be in a high or a low lunge, just because a teacher says high lunge doesn't mean you have to do high lunge. It's your practice, it's your mat. You get to decide. And so if you want to throw in some hamstring strengthening while everyone else is focusing on something else, totally in your power. So play around with that. Feel free to ask me questions, and I will see you next time.